When it comes to ARK, surviving can be hard for new players, so we proudly present Top 5 Ways to Survive on PvP Servers for Beginners. Coming at number 5, we have creating an intimidating base. Making an intimidating base is key to surviving on any PvP server. If any tribe sees that you have a small base with a big weak spot, you will be raided instantly. Making an intimidating base can be difficult. What I highly recommend is making your main entrance fortified with 100% turret capped wall. Make sure to layer your base a lot, especially if you live in a cave with 3x to 6x damage. Having lots of turrets on your main entrance can be really scary to the opposing tribe, and they will have to actually get a plan to raid. As long as you have a pretty big and scary entrance to your base, you can allow for some slack behind all of that. Now by slack, I don't mean to just put no turrets behind it, but if you have the room, build smaller versions of the main turret wall or tower. This will stall more time, as the opposing tribe will then think you are done with the main defense, when in reality there is a ton more to deal with behind it. Coming at number 4, we have frequently moving base locations and having multiple locations. Let's say you are on a very popular server that is always full and you have a lot of enemies. Now, do you want to stay in the same location while getting raided almost every day? Didn't think so. If you're constantly on the move, this allows for you to stay hidden away from your enemies and makes for the fun of building up in new locations. Now of course, you can always have a central location for storing all of your loot, but by constantly moving locations, you don't have to worry about waking up every day to the fact that your base is known by everyone. Now this is meant for smaller tribes, as bigger tribes moving locations can be very difficult and time consuming. Now, let's move on to the multiple locations. Having multiple locations is by far one of the best ideas to have, as you will be raided at some point in time. Waking up the next morning to a raided base is a big turnoff for playing ARK, and you will 100% want to give up and delete the game. Your hundreds of hours you just wasted can be gone in the matter of one night. But if you have multiple locations, you will have a bunch of backup loot and dino lines to get yourself started back up again. This will allow for you to make a swift return back into ARK to get your revenge. And coming at number 3, we have building underwater. With building underwater, it can be a tricky task but will pay off in the end. Underwater building usually involves vacuum compartments, which can be expensive, so if you're a new player, I'd recommend keeping your distance from this, at least until you have played the game for a good while. With building underwater, it's definitely one of the hardest tasks, as you have to find a location and figure out how to build a base with a good defense. The vacuum compartments are completely different than any regular land wall or door frame. Vacuum compartments require an entirely different design. We have many videos of building underwater, so feel free to check those out on our channel. Now with underwater building, you can always go the route of building in air pockets or even underwater caves. Underwater pockets can be found on the center, and these are enormous. These crazy big air pockets have a lot of really amazing aspects, like the fact that flyers don't work in them, and you can't walk rock columns into them, meaning it makes for a very difficult task for the enemy. Also, you can't throw out cryos inside the pocket, so even though this may seem like a massive weak spot, it is a great base location to build in. Coming at number 2, we have hiding in caves. When it comes to building bases, you always want to build inside. And building inside of something like a cave makes for only one weak spot, being the entrance. If you're building out in the open, it can often cause tons of weak spots and will allow for your base to be spotted easily. On PvP servers, with building in the open, it just won't work. as well as building in a cave makes for a great lifespan on your server. Along with it allowing you to survive longer, it also can be a lot of fun to defend your base if you're getting raided. The best thing about living in a cave is that no one can see your progression, allowing you to build up as big as you possibly want, which will be tricking bigger tribes into thinking you're smaller than you really are. The best caves, in my opinion, would be the ones on the center and even some on Lost Island. The center has an amazing cave like Bear Cave and Pearl Cave. These two caves alone are rated some of the best caves on ARK, and they are usually always full on every single PvP server. So if a server freshly wipes, I highly recommend running and claiming one of these locations. Always make sure to do your research on a cave before you build in it, as each will have a different cave damage, meaning it will take 1 C4 to blow up a foundation compared to 5 C4 outside of the cave. Coming at number 1, we have building in rat holes. If you're not familiar with what a rat hole is, basically it's a cave-like location that features a small entrance to walk or even crawl into. These rat hole locations can be found on every single map. While some are purposely placed there, most of them were accidentally created but have been made for an amazing spot to hide for tribes to survive the toxicity of ARK. We highly recommend building in smaller, less familiar known rat holes, as you don't have to worry about players constantly trying to raid you. Rat holes make for a great little or even big area to store all of your valuables. Just simply keep everything inside the rat hole and have a great form of defense on the inside and sometimes the outside, and it should work flawlessly. If you want to find some phenomenal rat holes, go visit the center. The center is full of rat holes and still haven't been discovered till this day. Coming as a bonus, we have always layering your base. Layering your base is key to survival, as it can double or even triple the amount of C4 needed to blow up your wall. To layer your base, simply use fence foundations for walls or pillars for foundations. By doing this, the enemy will be required to use up to 10 times more C4 than they most likely came with, making you win in the end. I've layered my bases tens of times in the past and it has always saved my tribe in the end. But anyways, that's gonna wrap it up for this video. We hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like if you're new, leave some feedback in the comments down below, and hit that subscribe button. We hope you guys enjoyed, and peace out.